Hey, man, yeah. We brought the fire background. Was that some disco music?
That's great.
That's all right. Heck yeah. Kate Greathouse, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
We are here December 27th. This is our last show of the year. We're proud to have Will Keenan. We'll bring him right out in just a minute. Whoa, are we back? Are we? Kate Greathouse, thank you for being a guest co-host today. Hey, a quick word on Lily Lurid, our normal co-host. She was around someone who tested positive for COVID, so out of an abundance of caution, she is self-quarantining, so and that's the right decision. So Thank you for being here.
And feel well soon.
Heck yeah. Hey, we got Will Keenan. Hi, Will.
Unmute. I think Lily did the right thing. Good for her.
Yes, indeed.
I actually thought it was because Will Keenan was on the show and she was like, I'm out.
Well, I meant to tell you, Will. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Bring it. Come on.
No. Hey, where are you right now? I see stained glass.
I'm in an historic church on the very South Jersey Cape that I acquired about 4 years ago and renamed after my dead mother.
Saint Bab's Church.
Yes, her name was Barbara.
Yes, very nice.
And ever since I did that, I left Hollywood, came here to take care of her as she was dying. And after she died in the summer of 2016, I was visiting friends and family on the South Jersey Cape, this very South Jersey shore, not the stuff you saw on MTV. And I passed by this place and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I always wanted to do something like this. So I acquired the whole property. You guys would love it. It's an old historic church, but it's on a cemetery, and I own the cemetery too. And there are people born in the 1700s buried here. A lot of all the famous founding families of Cape May County, New Jersey. Ben Franklin used to come down here and take the cure. Harriet Tubman down the street was an Underground Railroad star.
Yeah.
It's got the cemetery, and I named it after my mother who had passed. Mm-hmm. And since then, we've provided emergency shelter to like over 100 people. We've had about 350 bands play here in the big space, the sanctuary. Mostly screamo, or black metal. You know what that is.
Oh yeah.
and we help the community, help families, here and online.
Man, that's awesome. And so, is it addiction recovery focused?
There's a recovery program. There's an arts program. There's obviously spirituality, and we call ourselves the Church of all religions. Mm-hmm. Which we've had atheists come here for meditation services. and probably some Satanists as well. By the way, so DJ Satan's not around. He's not in the back. I wanted to talk to him, man.
No, that's me. That's one of my many.
You are, but without the makeup, you're not.
What? Yeah, I have.
No. So are you actually Satan in the form of a DJ, or have you been possessed by Satan, or have you sold your soul to Satan? I just wanted to know that.
Well, I believe it's all three. I really do. But see, as
out.
Kate Greenhouse, cut it out.
So when you're not in makeup, you're just Jay. Oh no, there it is. I see the little chyron. It says Satan. Lower third, Satan. So Satan, how does it feel that you are virtually in a church? It's like over 110 years old and dancing virtually in a church. Did you feel like you were melting or something?
I mean, I felt a little tickle.
Huh?
Yeah, I felt like a little tickle in my throat. Yeah.
Kate felt something.
God,
it smells like burnt popcorn in our studio right now.
We're always talking about flames here, but no. To answer your question, I'm totally fine with it. I really am. And look, seriousness, man. I respect what you're doing. You allow all in. You're helping those who have an addiction, and probably providing, a great amount of counseling to people who are, all of us, going through a difficult time right now.
Yeah, man. We're trying our best. We've been doing really well for the past 4 years. Helping a lot of people, and that's like the goal. I'm not going to say I'm anyone's guru, saint, or savior, but I do what I can, what I had, and I always wanted to do this. When I first got into the entertainment industry, I went to NYU. And I fell in love with performance art, dance theater, avant-garde theater, and then I got cast as Tromeo in Tromeo and Juliet in 1995.
Yeah.
It was actually a smooth segue from avant-garde performance art movement dance theater to cult movies like Troma. And once that happened, I caught the film bug, and I was like, all right, I'm going to try this film thing. But I always thought, if I ever get, I just wanted to get famous enough, powerful enough, influential enough, and have enough money to do something like this. And it probably happened a few years earlier than I anticipated with my mother dying. But here we are, and it's going well. And especially during this pandemic, when I left Hollywood in 2016, and I told people I was going on sabbatical or a walkabout, and I didn't know if I was coming back. And I wanted 6 months off the grid, off the internet, and no work, stand on my head in a cave in the Himalayas, the Himalaya Mountains, or Greece. I got all these offers for Italy, Greece, and I just wanted I wanted to be left alone, and someone would bring me a plate of fruits and vegetables once a week. And I got all these offers to do it, but this voice in my head say, if you do this, your mother will not be alive when you come back, if you do this for 6 months. So then I called my mom and I was like, Ma, can I come and do my sabbatical? Because I really needed a break from Hollywood in your condo where, when I was 16, in my old room. And she said, sure. And she was really dying of cancer at this point. And I came back, and, I thought I had 6 months with her. I had 6 days before she passed.
Oh.
My sisters who live in this area say she really just kind of waited for you to come home.
Oh.
And then instead of cutting my sabbatical short, going back to Hollywood or taking off to India, I stayed in her condo for 2 or 3 months and really tried to feel what it was like. As an actor, we were taught that. I went to NYU where we paid, at least in the 90s, I paid $40,000 a year to learn how to get in the body of someone. And I really tried to feel what she went through, because she had cancer for 7 or 9 years. And when she died, there was looked like an alien tumor on her chest.
Oh.
Very painful. And although she was a career registered nurse, she'll knock down your door if she thought you were sick, but she didn't do anything for herself. So I just kind of mourned in her condo for a number of months, and then started venturing out and coming down to the Jersey Shore, the very south part of Jersey, the Jersey Cape, which is beautiful. And I have friends and family down here, and reconnecting. And then I saw this place and I bought it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, here we go. All right.
That is so cool. So cool. So anyone can come into St. Babs.
Anyone. Yeah, absolutely. And we've had I don't know if you've ever been to this area. Right before this, I lived in LA for 14 years. And then right before that, I lived in New York City for 13 years. And before that, South Jersey. So I've met all types, and I've traveled the world, and I've met all types.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of types down here. So
Yeah.
anyone you can imagine. And, although we're kind of considered the arts church in this area,
Right.
We get lots of eccentrics, shall I say? So it is interesting. The first week I was here, I had the place wired with cameras, because I was, the last gig I had in Hollywood before I came back was president of a live streaming platform, and I had to turn them off because it was just too, I didn't want to expose people too much, shall we say.
No kidding. Hey, I want to take a break and give a quick shout out to Joe Manco at Little Spark Films, who actually put you in touch with us, put us in touch with you, and really,
Joe Manco, man.
Yeah.
Man.
What a great dude. And he's our partner. He's here in Dallas. And I appreciate him very much for really producing this show, making this happen with you.
I would not be here if not for Joe Manco.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we have the Facebook page. Let's show it quick for St. Babs Church. If people do want to connect with you, there it is. Or there we go. And it's got that screen, that cover image of the newspaper article about you from Hollywood to a church.
Production values can show the whole. Great.
But you were talking about Hollywood, and you were there for years. So we're going to show a brief snippet of the Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, jeez.
Will, is that okay? Do you mind if we show a little bit of that trailer?
It depends. Can you take me off? Well, actually, put me on. I want to see people. I want to see people's reactions to my reactions to the Tromeo clip you're going to play. Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to talk over it, okay? So you can describe this, but this is what are we doing first? Are we doing terror?
You said Romeo and Juliet. That's the one I'm prepping.
Okay, all right, got it. Tromeo first. I'm out of order with my engineer. I'm sorry.
You absolutely are. You're ruining my life. No,
Honestly,
it's
my
fine.
personal favorite. I'm so excited.
Tromeo is so wild. All right.
They've been using this since the 70s.
Yeah, Lloyd and Michael, that same intro.
Yeah.
Same horrible music. Same.
Yep.
It's kitschy. They love it.
It's kitschy.
Yeah.
There's Will.
Okay, this is fine.
Totally sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Will had a lot of fun, I think, making this movie.
Not enough of me. No, I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, you're kicking ass.
Uh-huh. There, yeah, and Lemmy was in it.
Oh, we hate Lemmy.
Oh, come on.
Well, I hope he rests in peace, but he was such a a-hole. Oh.
Tromeo. That's Will. He's Tromeo.
I'm very aware. We used to
Oh,
screen this at our
first
Shakespeare
male
parties.
Kiss on film. My father's black. Whoa. Yeah.
Will, look at your hair, man.
Yeah. Look at my hair now. I have great hair.
Whoa.
What the hell?
Venus monster.
Now, we want to show the one for Terra Firma too, which is so wild.
Okay.
Okay, let's show. Let's show. All right. Yeah.
You want to show the other one? Okay.
Were you
Yeah.
talking about Terra Firma, where I play the cinema's first hermaphrodite serial killer?
Yes,
yes.
that one. Hey, Will, I feel like I've seen your private parts. After watching that movie. So, have I?
Trauma
No.
style, yeah.
Trauma
exactly.
style.
While we're queuing that up, honestly, I used to be the company manager for a small outfit named Barebones Shakespeare here in Dallas, and every cast party I attempted to screen Romeo and Juliet, we usually got about 30 minutes in. So it's a real honor, sir.
30 minutes in because then people were getting sick or they were started making out or
They just weren't on board.
They weren't on board.
oh, the serious Shakespeare actors were.
Oh yeah, they don't know. This is all like He's King Lear, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm plugging in so I can hear.
Sure, no problem.
Will, your hair looks
We're good.
great, man. You are still way too young for King Lear. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this next one is and look, this is
Yeah.
a very naughty trailer. We can only show part of it, but this is terrifying.
Yeah, I had to start it later.
Some sort of personal animosity against
Will looks great in this one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yep. Oh, Ron Jeremy, he's in jail.
Well,
That's a premonition. We were pressing. Jail.
okay, but so my friend Darlene wanted me to ask you this. Do you think Ron Jeremy is guilty?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. And he's probably guilty of more than he's being accused of. Absolutely. I did when I was doing a movie after the two Troma movies, Tromeo and Terra Firma, I was asked to do a movie in Philadelphia called Waiting. And they asked me if I could get Ron Jeremy. I was like, yeah, if you pay him $1,000 or $2,000 in cash, he'll come and do whatever, and you pay for his transportation. And they were like, oh my God, Ron Jeremy, Ron Jeremy, Ron Jeremy. So I, by this point, was Ron in Tromeo? He played my father in Terra Firma. He may have had a cameo or whatever in Tromeo, but anyway, so they fly him in to do this, and on the first day on set, towards the end of the day, the crew starts running out and screaming and yelling, and there's all this haphazardness going on, and I'm like, what the fuck? Or I'm sorry, can I say that on?
You can, yeah. I don't know if you can in your
Got
church,
back
but
from the writer-director himself, that Ron not only exposed himself to the writer-director's girlfriend in a confined space, but he really went for her and started touching her and grabbing her private parts. So it was like, whoa, and I was like, hey, you guys wanted him, I'm sorry. And I actually had a talk with Ron. The very next night, they had us, at least the main actors, and Ron only had like a scene, I think, or two in this movie called Waiting, but they rented a whole house, a very nice, house in Philadelphia, close to where we were shooting. And then I caught him essentially assaulting another actress in the movie Waiting. Her name is Carrie Kenny. If you look her up, she's like a, kind of a lauded actress, and she's a celebrity. She's real. But Ron, I don't know what to say except
all right.
He's totally guilty. And, whatever you think of Ron Jeremy, I don't care. He's frickin' guilty.
All right.
He should do time.
Yeah.
And whatever. And let me get to Lemmy as well. Lemmy was an asshole. Look at James, if James Gunn still has his tweets up about Lemmy. Lemmy was a huge asshole and tried to strangle me at one point. And he's lucky Lemmy's lucky I didn't kill him.
Well,
And the only reason I didn't kill him during Terra Firma was because, we were trying to finish a movie, and Lloyd Mr. Troma, Lloyd Kaufman, would have been really pissed at me. But I seriously would have Lemmy.
well, dang.
Awesome.
Biggest asshole you could ever meet.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And also an assaulter.
Will, this is. I'm sorry, man. This is just.
Wait, hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. One of Lemmy's things about showing up to a movie, a low-budget Troma movie, or something of the same ilk, was that girls like the one you're sitting next to, or Lily Ludite, would have to pick him up because he just preys on them constantly. And so did Ron, and they're assholes. And they weren't good people, or at least Lemmy was not a good person. Ron is, Ron was very charming and could pretend he was a good person until he was alone and he was a predator. And, I wish back then I would have punched him in the fucking nose, or I wish the writer-director, but because he was Ron Jeremy, everyone's like, oh, like, what do we do? Thank God for the Me Too movement. Anyway, moving on.
All right. Yeah, I got you, man.
Thank you.
Woo. All right. All right. Hey, is Johnny X a trauma film?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. So,
Johnny X, in my opinion, is the very last black and white, anamorphic, widescreen, musical feature film ever to be shot on film itself. Because who besides Paul Bonnell, the co-writer and director of that movie, would ever try to make a widescreen, anamorphic, black and white movie musical? Although what you're showing right now is color, it's not. But it took 6 years to make. I think we started in around 2006. Whoa. And Mr. Paul Bonnell, and this was, by the way, as and I did like 45 or some odd movies, half of which I think I starred in, and half of those actually got some kind of distribution. But this was the most fun I've ever had on set. Paul Bonnell is a great director, and he's great fun on set. He's like a combination of Don Knotts and Don Knotts and Paul's gonna be upset about this. What's the famous jokster's name? He used to do all the USO things and
Bob Hope?
Yes.
Oh.
So Paul Bonnell is like a combination of Don Knotts and Bob Hope.
All right.
Hey,
all right.
And he just made it so much fun on set. But in 2006, he cast me and all these wonderful actors, and he had this great vision for it. And I was like, man, you're crazy. You're the last person to ever do this, right? Like, shoot on film, anamorphic widescreen, musical feature. And I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
And it went through many iterations as far as the script. And then when we started shooting, we shot for a week, and then it stopped because this poor guy was, and I guess that's what it takes to make a film. I always think film is like, going through war, and it's a miracle if you finally get your film made. We finished after a week, and he was like, okay, that's all I got for my second mortgage on my house. Now we're going to go try to sell it and finish the movie.
Yeah.
And so we stopped production, and then every year for 6 years, in 2012, he'd give us a call and be like, hey, sending you the new script. I think I got the money. And after the first, seriously, first year, 2, 3, we were like, I think the whole cast was like, oh, because we all wanted to be a part of it. We were like, oh, okay, cool. For me, after the 3rd, 4th year, I was like, I'd get the call, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude, whatever. And then the 6th year happened. He gives me the same call. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the wardrobe people show up to my loft downtown LA. I'm like, wait a minute, is this really happening? And to me, there's lots of amazing things about this movie. But one of the most amazing things is that it took 6 years to make. And then if you watch the movie throughout, there are points where all the actors are 6 years older. And can you tell? That's the big thing. Can you tell? The other story about that movie is that Paul kind of hoarded, Paul Bonnell, the director, kind of hoarded all this footage. I think it was Kodak film, blah, 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 like this black and white film that was very, loved. And he hoarded it, and he had all these short ends of this. What is it? Paul, do you guys get comments on your thing? He's probably
He told me he's listening. They'll probably tell you.
Yeah,
right now.
we do. And so we're getting a lot of comments from Angela Quigley. Hi, Angela. And Richard Nettleton.
Hey,
Hails to Richard.
To finish that story, Paul hoarded all this film stock, and the movie that won the Oscar, a black and white movie, like 2 years later, the artist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, supposedly Harvey Weinstein's company had called Paul and like, hey, listen, we hear you have the rest of that. We need it. We're willing to pay you this much. And Paul was like, no, I'm making my own movie.
Whoa.
Could have paid off that mortgage. Okay, anyway.
Oh my
go ahead.
God.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So, Paul, yeah, if you're watching, jump in the chat room on our Facebook page. It's live right now, so jump in there. A lot of other comments and
So wait, is Liquid Death your sponsor? What is that? Like a energy drink or something?
yeah, I want to show you something funny because you were in Trauma Film, so you will like this. It's called Cutie Palooties, and I want you to watch this right now. This is their new product on the screen right now. So
What a segue I just gave you.
yeah, it's perfect. It's our little commercial. You will love this. You will love this, Will.
All right, well, don't be so sure. I'm sitting in a church named after my dead mother. And by the way,
Cutie polluties, you're my best friends. Plastic garbage may have killed you, but our fun never ends.
Oh
Cutie
my
polluties
God.
are adorable ocean friends that have been mutilated by
oh
single-use
Jesus,
plastic.
one of them was smoking
So
a cigarette.
cute.
And even if I lose you, it's no tragedy, 'cause plastic doesn't get recycled.
You did a really good job at making it look
And
old.
kills more
Yeah.
cuties for me.
Yeah, Trauma style.
These
Okay,
cuties
okay,
are
it's-
so cute.
Crawls out
You'll
the
want to
mouth.
hug them to death.
Oh, here we go.
Here, yeah, it's getting dark.
Cutie polluties, you're more than just
Uh-oh.
toys. You're my plastic murdered bodies who pollute me with
Plastic
joy.
murdered bodies.
Cutie
Oh, the
polluties.
bottle
They make
stuck in the
plastic
wall.
pollution way more
Yep.
cute. Limited quantities available at liquiddeath.com.
Oh yeah, like the toxic event.
So Liquid Death is all about death to plastic.
At the end, it's a good message. There you go.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, too much plastic pollution in our oceans, and it is killing wildlife. It is. So their water is in a
Tell you what else will
can.
Kill you. Energy drinks.
Yeah.
It's just water, honey.
So this is water, but in a recyclable can, aluminum can. It's infinitely recyclable.
Okay.
And it looks very
Right.
much like a Miller
So
Lite
Liquid-
if you're just on the
Liquid
street
Death,
innocently.
Corpsepaint Show, sponsored by Liquid Death.
And Will Keenan from
That as your bumper.
The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. Hey, do you have time for us to show the trailer real quick?
Yeah, sure.
You do? All right. All right. This is
Can I talk over it though?
you can absolutely.
Paul Bennell will love that. Okay.
Yeah, Paul, where are you, Paul? Oh, there he is. He says howdy.
Ask him what film stock it was that ran out and it was the last of its kind.
All right, Paul, I know you heard that. So film stock type that ran out, last of its kind on that black and white. So let's show this and you can talk over it.
All right, here we go. Let's see. How's my hair looking?
Jonathan Xavier.
Inasmuch as you insist on being an outsider and laughing at the rules and traditions of our advanced civilization, I am
Beautifully shot.
exiling you to a place which has no adherence to either.
Look at your hair. You look good.
Overacting, overacting.
Have your choice.
Thematically appropriate
I
overaction.
call myself a schmacker. Oh yeah, that scene where I jump at. Oh,
Yeah.
looking pretty cute. Oh, racy. Aha! Now this is okay.
Schmackter.
Yep.
It's
This is a cool
ghastly.
movie, man.
Yeah.
And Paul put his house on the line.
All right, so Paul said Kodak Plus
Line.
Kodak Plus X 35 millimeter.
There you go. That was it. Oh, that's the hot shot right there.
Paul also says you did all your own stunt driving. Is that true?
Yeah. I almost. The crew says I almost killed them, but
That's what Paul said too.
I knew what I was doing. Yeah. No, there's a video on YouTube where it's they have just that video where I did the driving stunt.
Yeah.
And people are freaking out. And at the end of the YouTube video, you hear someone say, "I think I got hit by a rock."
Hey, Paul Williams.
Yeah.
The
Oh my god. I'm ready to faint.
This is kind of a great drive-in movie. Maybe Bob Briggs should play it.
Joe Bob Briggs, yeah.
Isn't he
This
doing
is bad.
drive-ins now?
Yeah.
Oh, Hot Shot.
Deanna Joy Brooks. Reggie
By the
Bannister.
way, Deanna Joy Brooks, I think, is amazing in this movie. She frickin' got it.
Cool.
Like the old style, itchy but still real performance. And she, I really praise her performance. I hate my performance in this movie, but Paul says it's okay.
Kate, what did Paul say right there? We have proof.
Oh, I believe it's about him attempting to kill the crew members.
Oh yeah, I caught it on video.
Oh, yeah, they have proof of him trying to run people over.
Didn't you have?
Yeah. Can you pull that one up right now?
Hey, Will,
I could try.
Look, Will, didn't you crash a bunch of cars in all your movies, or?
Well, I used to be in all my movies. I did stunts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my own movies, I used to, jump off buildings and get hit by cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Troma movies and any movie I did after that, I would kind of force a stunt in a scene. And even in this one movie, Love God, which I did right after Tromeo. I did a movie called Love God, which is considered the very first fully digital feature film. We shot it in 1996. I think it was released in 97, or at least it premiered at Sundance and it had its thing. But even the producer had to leave the set, and he was like, I don't want to see you do the stunts. So I just kind of, that's why directors hate working with me, because I'll change all my lines and make them my own, right?
Yep.
And in the middle of a scene where there should not be a stunt, I'll do a pratfall or climb the wall or something.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if our
That's why Trent Haga. You guys know who Trent Haga is?
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's familiar.
Yeah, I saw his name on Troma films, right?
Well, yeah, he did Citizen Toxie, but he also did a number of films after that. You should look him up. And his latest one was what's it called? Something 69. Anyway, he's a cult superstar, but I cast him in Terra Firma. He played the other male lead in Terra Firma. The role that Lloyd wanted me to play. And I was like, no, I want to play the female serial killer, but I want to regender the role as an hermaphrodite. And Lloyd was like, you're crazy. And I was like, I'm not doing it unless I have my way.
Right.
And he let me do it. So cinema's first hermaphrodite serial killer. But Trent Haga, we did a movie together called Chop. Around the same time we finished Johnny X. Trent was making this movie, his directorial debut, after writing a bunch of movies and after working at Troma, and he's since written a bunch of other amazing movies that you can see on Netflix and a bunch of Lifetime channel movies. And this was his directorial debut, and he was directing a script that someone else wrote. And I was like, dude, you're a brilliant writer, and why are you not writing or directing something you wrote? And he's like, and he said, because stuff I wrote is actually worth something. So he bought or optioned Adam Minarovich's script called Chop. And Trent will probably, we used to be good friends, so he'll probably never work with me again because I changed all my lines.
Yeah.
And I tried to infuse too many stunts in every scene I was in, practically.
Well, it's so great to talk to you, man. I don't know if Jason was able to find that, but will you come back and let us continue this conversation?
Oh, you have someone more important next?
No, it's me.
No.
You're great.
Well,
I love you.
Well, when I'm in your area, I'm going to come by St. Babs. I would love to spend some time with you face to face, man. I really would.
Right on.
I think you need a little Satan there. That's all I'm saying.
Satan can come meditate here at St. Babs anytime.
Yes. I was kind of hoping that while we were talking to you, some of your cats would crawl on the back of your...
I did too, but I just fed them, and now they're all like,
They're all lazy.
found out or something.
Aw.
Hey, much love to you, Will, and thanks for doing what you're doing right now at St. Babs, and also the great fun memories on celluloid, man.
You too. You guys are great. God bless. Love you.
Love you too. We'll see you again. Bye, Will. What a cool guy.
Oh, what a delight.
We gotta have him back. This show should be 2 or 3 hours long. I mean, the fun would never end. Hey, what'd you think of Cutie Palooties?
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's very tongue-in-cheek. I love it. And, I mean, I switched out of smoking filtered cigarettes just because it's better for the environment.
Good.
So.
You can order a Cutie Palootie. You can.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a fake commercial.
You can get one of those things? Shut your mouth.
I'm sure my dog would love to eat it and throw it back up on my carpet.
I don't think that the damage to the actual stuffed animal is real plastic. You know?
Thank God.
Yeah, so I think it might be edible for a pet.
I'll tell you what, he'll find out.
Is that how you
All right. So what did Darlene say right there? What did she say, Kate? And then Lloyd fed everyone donuts.
I can't see that from here.
Okay.
Fed everyone donuts from a dumpster, made them sleep on floors of an abandoned building, and made another brilliant movie, LOL.
Yes.
There's a method to the madness.
So Darlene was in Poultrygeist, and she's a fan of the show, and
I've seen Poultrygeist.
Yeah, she's in Poultrygeist, and yeah, so she was on a
Hi, what a delight.
yeah, a Lloyd Kaufman film.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I can't read your comments. I lost my glasses in a lake.
Were you on a boat?
No.
Were you making out with a guy?
No, not that time.
All right.
What?
A ghost took them?
No, I just, I was being emphatic, and I kind of just flung that. It was in a fit of fancy. I lost a good book that way too. You know.
You got
Does
emotional.
this happen a lot? You just get all worked up, and you just gotta throw something.
I did get into a measure of trouble recently because I had purchased a book of Jack Kerouac's poetry, which I love his prose. Not a big fan of his poetry, and so in order to demonstrate that, I just said, you know what? And I tossed it off the roof of a bar.
Uh-oh.
And then all I hear from below is, "Oh, what the fuck!"
Yeah.
Whoa!
That's what happens when
Don't
you
throw stuff off
Yeah,
the
no,
roof of
I thought I was being emphatic. It felt very cinematic in the moment, and I'd had a lot to drink.
Before we show your little clip, before we show it, all right, there's an event coming up. It's on January 16th that Corpsepaint Show is producing, along with our other production company, and that's Distorted Heartbeat, another company that we're partnering with. And that is the Rose Garden Funeral Party and Savet show at Trees on January 16th. So I wanted to show that flyer here. Tickets will be available soon on the Trees website or on a Facebook event page. But it's Rose Garden Funeral Party along with Savet and Claire Cunningham, who is from Nashville. So she's coming in from Nashville. I just talked to her, and I said, "Were you near this explosion?" And I guess everyone is kind of near it, you know. But
off of 2nd Street.
But yeah, 2nd Street. You've been?
No, but I've been following the investigation very closely.
Yes. And you told me you performed in Memphis.
Yeah, I was in Memphis for a night a couple months ago.
Very cool. You tour all over.
Yeah. Just got off a 3-state tour a couple months ago.
See, I think that's badass.
Yeah.
During COVID, you're doing stand-up in various locations. I know you said you love Oklahoma. You've been to Arkansas. You've been to Tennessee. That's cool.
And of course we're taking a lot of precautions when we do these things. You know, always mic covers, always sanitation, wearing masks at any time indoors, and in fact waiting outside if possible if the weather will permit. I want to be clear, it's irresponsible, but we do try to mitigate this somewhat.
Sure. Look, Kate, my view is that comedy, stand-up, is the only place that we can hear real truth these days. I really
a lot
think
of comedians would agree with you.
Yeah, I no, really. Think about the stories you tell that, you know, and that's what people want. They love stories, right? And you tell truth. You tell true stories of things that have happened to you, and they're universal. You know, we've all gone through unfortunate things or breakups or, you know, whatever.
Honestly, I think the connection to just, you know, people I might not meet otherwise is really what brought me into it. There's nothing that makes me happier than if someone comes up to me and discusses what part of my act resonates with them, especially young women, which...
Good. So when you're doing these stand-up tours, there's probably not many women comics.
Oh, there are more every year, it seems. It is a traditionally kind of a boys' club, but I'm really happy to say that I know a ton of wonderful comics in our area and now all across the country, particularly within DFW. We have Claws Out, which is a wonderful collective. They actually have a show over in Fort Worth tonight.
Female?
Yeah, it is an all-female collective. They'll have some male guest stars in every now and then, but it is woman-run, woman-owned.
Nice.
And yeah, they've actually got a show over at Tulips in Fort Worth tonight. So if you guys are over in that area, definitely check them out. They're hilarious.
And then tonight, this is December 27th, you're going to be in Addison?
No Addison for me today, but thanks. But no, tonight I'll just be running around doing a couple of open mics, things like that, and really just wishing well to my people over at Tulips.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. All right, so let's show this little snippet of you on stage at the Improv, which is badass, Kate.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
I'm
very
so excited
cool.
to see which ones you guys...
I'm so broke. It's like
we can talk over this.
Dickensian poverty. I'm huddled around a trash can fire broke right now. And I know, I'm over there. Send me a drink, please.
Nobody did.
No,
What?
I'm so broke. Like, I think everyone has been broke at some point. You know, whatever that means for you, everyone's been broke at some point. But, like, we've all been broke enough to, like, have cigarettes for dinner. Like, yeah. Have you been broke enough to use coupons that you get from other people's Camel Crush bags? Because I have. Lovely minty finish, though. I'm so broke, I started selling blood. Like to doctors, not to like a guy. But I don't know if you guys have ever done this before. It's plasma donation. It's bad. It's rough. Firstly, I mean, ew. But also, you walk in and you're just immediately surrounded by everybody who you've ever seen on the wall of thieves at a convenience store. And
I
I'll
can
tell
picture
you what,
that.
The people who work at those places, they don't like jokes. I keep trying.
These volunteers
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like
take
humor.
my blood, please. And they're just like, ma'am. And then I feel bad. I feel like a dick. I'm like, how can I make this up to you? Do you want like more blood? Because I don't have anything else to give you. Like at this point, I'm not even looking for like a good job with benefits. Like I just want to make enough money that I can eke over the threshold. That the next
All right, so is it,
time I OD, it can be on something classy.
can we pause for a minute there? So I love the honesty, and you know, I mean, when people talk about how broke they are and that you have a cigarette for dinner, I mean, this is raw truth. And I know you're on a comedic tour, but it's not like it pays a lot of money.
Oh, let me be clear. I mean, I stayed in the house of a wonderful comedian in Little Rock for 3 nights, none of which she wanted me there.
Oh.
I've had cigarettes for dinner on tour. I basically live off of like clearance oatmeal and sometimes for a treat a baked potato.
This is to me. This is humor. This is humor. It is this is America in 2020.
Oh yeah, no. To me, it's just like like a low-cal diet.
The potato. Okay.
Every once in a while.
All right. Angela stepped in and said, "I like rock music." I think she likes our background choices. I hope
me
so.
too, Angela.
And her mom is Linnea Quigley, who was our guest last week.
Oh, wonderful.
I think it's her mom. Now, we might have to get some clarification on that. But and Darlene, man, we love having you here, Darlene. You got to be part of this show every week. So, all right. The what other challenges? Is that something to is that a silly question to talk about? I mean, challenges for a female comic?
Oh, no. I mean, it's something that's basically always on the forefront of my mind. I recently canceled some shows with a production company just because the attitude and the environment that they were creating didn't feel respectful to me as a woman. Mm-hmm. These people are still my friends. I still hold them in high regards. Why I'm not naming names, but it's one of those things where if I don't feel like an environment is being created where my concerns are taken seriously, where we're able to talk about the environments being created, if we have people on stage using degrading terms towards women, and again, there is such thing as a joke. But there's also, you know, if I'm being pointed at, called a bitch from someone that I don't know, that's very different than if I know them. So yeah, no, it's definitely, these challenges are there. Being a female comedian, I thank God I started now.
Don't ad hominem attacks just mean shallow brain cells? I mean, that means no thought was put in it.
Oh, I'm of the theory that there's a large subset of the population, specifically within the comedy community, that sees a woman walk in and then they stop evaluating that person. You know, you essentially become tits on legs.
They stop evaluating your comedic talent.
Yeah, no, it just stops at female comedian.
This probably is not unique to the comedy world.
Oh no, I'm sure, but it's just the one that I have experience with.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's always a challenge. But like I said, we're in a really beautiful cultural people moment right now, where women are getting a voice in a lot of different factions. You know, including politically, where we didn't before, and all of that trickles down into the arts, and to some extent the arts trickle down into the rest of it. It's really a fun time to be in right now, because it feels like the things that we're doing, you know, creating women-owned comedy collectives, women-owned shows, women-focused showcases, it feels productive, and I'm really grateful for that.
So there's no pressure for you to cover different topics than a male comic would cover?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, we're working to get into a period of comedy where people are really judged more on merit than they are on the shock value of a woman talking about sex on stage.
Yeah. And do you get the impression that's what they want to hear? We want to hear you tell sex stories.
Oh, man. You know what? If I go and I perform in a dirty bar in the middle of nowhere, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's kind of what they want to hear. But I'm finding that clubs and even nicer bars, clubs, better venues are really... They're just excited for writing, and they're excited to hear this.
Yeah, cool. If you perform at a dive that is a greasy, ugly, yucky place, is that material for like your next week at somewhere else?
If I perform at, you know, some sort of fire hazard of an establishment, I like to use that as a chance to try things that I normally wouldn't try. You know, I know that I don't have as much focus because there might be, you know, a football game on or two people about to have a bar fight in the corner. I'm fine with either.
You are?
You know, honestly... A lot of comedy is walking into a bar and taking a microphone and making the people who did not know it was comedy night not leave.
Gotcha. So you're okay with the bar leaving the football game on?
Absolutely, because you know what? If I went to a bar to watch a football game and some broad just started talking into a microphone, I'd be pretty sick of it too. Like, I'm sorry, do you guys want to hear about my sister's baby or not? I know the Cowboys are on, but hold on.
Yeah, that's right.
Hold on, does anybody else need to hear my take on weed?
There were some funny things you said about your sister's baby.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So
that was all that day. It was one of those kind of just, oh, I'm running out of time. Might as well talk about this kid.
But does your sister like come up to you and say, "How dare you tell these stories about me raising my child"?
I text my sister if I put her in my act. Yeah. I send her a now the baby's 4 months old. We have not had a lot of opportunity.
All right.
But I'm really excited over the next 18 years, just from what I've seen so far.
When you perform at the Improv or another nice place, do they automatically tape your performance and you're given a copy?
No. I have to usually arrange for someone to come in and tape it for me, and I forget all the time. So it's actually getting a video that I could use was super exciting just as a comedian, because I can now take this to clubs and say, hey, look, I promise I'm pretty good.
I don't know. I think a lot of your things they really ring true to me.
Thank you.
You know, and you can relate to poverty. We've all been there. We've all been there. And sometimes, you know, you think to yourself, I never thought I'd be at this stage of my life with $3.57 in my bank account. Okay, but here we are.
Okay, money bags. Okay, money bags with a positive balance in your bank account. Oh, hey, look at me. I'm skirting past my overdraft fees. All right. Okay,
somebody's eating ramen tonight.
Okay, but look.
Somebody gets a baked potato.
Look, last question. All right, let's say you do have a problem with your bank and there's no overdraft fee. Okay. Well, do you try humor when you call them and say, would you please, I don't know, try some jokes?
Absolutely not, because I use Bank of America.
They're too serious?
Yeah, they're not having that.
Also, honestly,
what about other things? Your cable TV or something? I don't know.
You know what? Jokes get me, I think, the furthest at work right now. I do work an office job. I do work a temp job, and I am skirting by the skin of my teeth most weeks, just like, walking in clearly hungover and just saying, the traffic.
that traffic.
It's a temp job, and they are not making me permanent.
And that pollution from the traffic too. It made my eyes red. I don't know if we have time to show the trailer for Pinocchio.
Oh, I think we do.
No, we don't.
We don't. What?
Oh, fine.
Whose voice was that? The voice of God, I think, or something.
One of
Is
them.
he in charge of you?
I am in charge of a lot of the electronic equipment over here that runs the show. So yes,
Yeah,
we'll
it
say
makes
yes.
us look good. All right, what other comments should we close out on? Darlene, what did she say? People get carried away. Angela, thank you for being here. Miss Quigley. Paul, too, who jumped in earlier. Will, big thank you to Will Keenan. Dadgum, a cool career. He's a stuntman. He's a producer. He's done these badass movies. The kind of films I like that are under the radar.
Oh, such an iconoclast, really.
Mm-hmm. And Kate Grayhouse. If someone wants to see you live on, is there a place so they can? Do you have a website or?
I do not currently have a website. You can find me on Facebook at Kate Greathouse. You can find me on Instagram at Great Kate House, because I thought I was being cute. And no, it's just hard to say on a radio show. Oh, and then let's see. Actually, I'll be at Stomping Ground in Dallas on the 2nd of January.
Is that a comedy club?
It is a comedy club in Dallas over in the manufacturing district.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, off
Yeah, you
35.
I think.
Design
Don't know
district?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'll be. It might be Manufacturing Road. You know, we're gonna fact check.
I've been there. I've been there.
But no, I'll be at Stomping Ground on the 2nd, doing 50 first jokes, which is 50 comedians doing their first joke of the year. That's always super fun.
Instead of 50 first dates.
Then, exactly. And then the 24th, I will be at Hyenas in Dallas doing their Fresh Faces showcase.
You are a fresh face.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you, Kate Grayhouse. I wish you all the best for 2021, and I hope that we can connect again soon.
Oh, absolutely.
Really do. And maybe we'll bring Will in and Jason, and we'll just all have a group hug.
Oh yeah. You know what? After the vaccine, I will group hug any of you.
All the best to you. And Jason, thanks a lot, man, for a full year of service and helping us out all of 2020. I really appreciate you.
Do what I can.
And everyone who's jumped in the chat room or watched our show, we say wear a mask, be safe, and, man, love those around you. Kate Grayhouse, any last comedic words? Or is that not cool to put someone on a spot like that?
I mean, I'll just tell you what I tell everybody when they tell me to tell them a joke, which is...
I'm not saying that.
I don't work for free.
That's
well,
right.
hold on.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Let me see what I've got in my pocket. Dang, it's all used. Never mind. All right. Anyways, thanks a bunch. And to you too, Jason. Love you, man.
Bye, guys.
We want you to elevate your life by going underground. By that we mean supporting independent art, independent music, independent print, independent movies.